Greetings, beloved. We from the Mystic Rose Collective are here with you today to share our messages of love, peace, healing, and harmony. Today, the message that we have for you is one around self-acceptance, one around self-love, one around self-compassion. This is not the first time we have spoken on this subject, and the reason for that it is because it is so important for each and every one of you to get to a place where you truly love yourself unconditionally. In your human realm, we talk about unconditional love that you often have for your children or for your animals. And to that we say, why do you not have unconditional love for yourself? And we understand the reasons why it is harder to love yourself in the manner without any qualms, reasons, blockages, or distortions. We get it. You are made up of many different pieces and parts, and these parts of you are formed as a way of protecting yourself and protecting younger or more hurt parts of you from enduring more pain. And so if you have a part of you that is being highly critical, as were a parent that you grew up with, then this part of you may encourage you to do something different. But what we have discovered as guides to humans is that this rarely happens. The harshness, the criticism does not encourage you to be better or do better or to change. It might for a very short period of time, but what happens is you then embody beliefs that cause you to be further away from your love, from your authenticity. And when you embrace shame instead of self-compassion, you are more likely to live a life that is not authentically you because you are doing things to try to combat the shame, to make yourself feel better. You're living by shoulds. You're living in alignment with other people's expectations of you. You are living in fear of being rejected. And so you are doing things that may go against what your soul is trying to guide you toward. And so, if you can work on coming to a place each day where you are expressing love and compassion for yourself exactly as you are, by literally just sitting there, perhaps you place a hand on your chest and you say, I love you. I'm proud of you. I accept you for who you are. When you do this, you can bring great healing to your system. Now, it is not something that you can only do once and never do again. It is a practice. It is something to be mindful of throughout your day when you are getting harsh with yourself, when you are criticizing yourself, to pause, to break the cycle, to tell that part, I see you for what you are doing. You are trying to help me, and I need a different kind of help right now. And then say, love, please fill me with your presence. And place that hand on your heart and express the love towards yourself and towards your parts. And that is not to say when you are in a state of self acceptance, exactly who you are in this moment, it means that you are accepting even the parts of yourself that you wish would change, the parts of yourself that cope in maladaptive ways, the parts of you that are reactive or judgmental towards things. You love them. You have compassion for them. You have empathy for them. You have understanding, and you can see them from a higher perspective. And this takes work, it takes intention, it takes practice, and it is the most beneficial thing you can do for yourself. Because when you are angry towards yourself, you are resisting alignment. But when you are in a state of love and understanding and compassion, it is easier for your parts to change. But we do not try to force them into changing. We just love them along the way. We just see them for what they are. And through that clear-eyed vision of having towards yourself, it is much easier to separate and to make more conscious decisions. But the more anger you have towards yourself, the more reactive you will be, the more you will be living in a state of shame and lower vibrations and lower consciousness. And then it will be more difficult to change in that way. And so it is not to say that acceptance is giving up on alignment. It is saying, I love and accept myself for who I am in this moment. And knowing through love, things can shift, they can heal, they can ascend, they can reform into new and healthier ways of being. And so you do not have to force yourself into change. You have to love yourself into evolution without the pressure, without the force, without the brutalization of your psyche and your consciousness and your parts. Let it be easy. Let it be flowing. Let it be natural. Let it just happen through love. And another aspect of this message we wish to share with you today is that while we will always encourage you to look inside of yourself and to explore and to work with your parts and to try to get to the higher levels of evolution, the self-acceptance that we are speaking of today does give you permission to take breaks from the work. And what we mean by this is that you cannot always be in a state of healing and doing. There are times in your life where you simply need to be. You simply need to experience life and with a grateful heart and compassion towards yourself, and just allow yourself to go through life with presence without always thinking about, how do I do this better? How do I change this? How do I heal this? How do I optimize this? How do I become the highest and best version of myself? And again, we are not saying this in a black and white sense, because there is time to do that work. And then there's time to let things be. And if you have been on that treadmill of doing, healing, working for a long time, might we suggest that you give yourself a period of integration and you give yourself a period of ease, of allowing, of being, of embodying what you have already uncovered about yourself and your authenticity with presence and consciousness and love. And we hope that this message is clear to you what we were saying. We are not speaking in absolutes. We are not speaking in black and white scenarios. We are talking about how things can vary and your approach to life can vary depending on where you're at and what you need. And in this moment, we are tapping in to a collective energy, and that collective energy we are feeling is in a being period. So if this message is resonating with you, perhaps this applies to you. And if it does not resonate, that's perfectly fine. You are a different state of consciousness. You are at a different point in your own journey, and so you do what feels right for you. But if our words are speaking to you and you feel that ping inside, perhaps heed what we are saying and give yourself time to slow down, to participate in life, to enjoy the experiences exactly as you are, knowing that your journey is not over, but perhaps you're taking a respite from the work for now. We love you very much. We are grateful for your presence, and we are so pleased to share these messages with you today. In that, we go in peace and love, and our message is complete for today.